Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey with Clarita, the podcast where we will discuss valuable insights, resources, and motivation to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's build a supportive community together. Subscribe now to Begin, Build, Blossom, and let's embark on your business journey. Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you, whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation. This episode was recorded at the end of 2024 and contains references to this year and last year, which refer to 2024 and 2023 respectively. Please keep this in mind as you listen, since the episode is being released in early 2025. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming a truly inspiring guest, Eustecia Herman. As someone deeply dedicated to both community and personal growth, Eustecia is a licensed hiking and camping guide here in New York State, sharing her love of the outdoors with those around her. She's also the co-founder and baker behind Fawin, creating delicious Creole bread that connects with her cultural roots. Alongside her baking, she brings words to life as a poet, capturing the essence of her experiences and perspectives. Not only is she an administrative assistant by day, but she also serves as a passionate founder and president of UNIK for Education, a registered nonprofit supporting education initiatives. Eustecia pours her energy into hosting and planning community events, from retreats that inspire personal growth to bus rides that bring people together. We're excited to dive into her journey and learn more about her many passions and pursuits. Welcome, Eustecia. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm doing great. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for making the time. And I did have the opportunity to enjoy one of your retreats that you had recently. My daughter and I had an amazing time. We got to meet some amazing people. So thanks for that.
I am glad that you all were able to join me. It was a pleasure having you there also.
Yes. So we're going to get started with a section we call Rapid Fire. The goal here is to answer the questions as quickly as possible. It gives us an opportunity to get to know you. We don't always get through it very quickly, but let's see what happens today. So tell us 2 words that describes you. One you would use to describe you now, and one you would use to describe you as a child.
As a child, very curious. Now, just very passionate.
Nice. Thank you. And what is the name of your business or businesses, and what do you do in business?
In business, I co-founded the baking business called Fawin. Also, I have co-founded a nonprofit organization with my siblings called UNIK for Education, Inc.
Okay, great. And in Fawin, what do you do there? And for UNIK for Education, what do you do there?
In Fawin, I am a baker. I also do the sandwiches. We create a nostalgic feeling for people back in the Caribbean since we live in the diaspora, where, we give them that experience of their childhood where we used to bake bread in an outdoor oven, well, a drum oil oven. And we give them the fillings, their favorite fillings that they love, like example, the Anchor cheese. If we don't have the Anchor cheese, then that's it. The Anchor cheese, the salami, the luncheon meat, we try to give them an authentic taste of the Creole bread from their childhood growing up. In UNIK for Education, our mission is to provide a stipend to students who have become successful at the common entrance of the Tiroshi Mikud Combined School, which is my alma mater, and I'm moving on to either Mikud Secondary School or Viewfort Comprehensive School, which is the alma mater of my sisters and myself. Yes.
Nice. And how long have you been doing each of these?
UNIK was born in 2016, and it is a registered non-profit organization from the time it was born. Fawin Force, on the other hand, came out of adversity, which is during COVID in 2020, when everything was closed and we needed a way to survive. And I started with friends used to ask me to bake bread in my apartment. Then the demand was a little high. And my partner in Fawin First right now, Jacob Emmanuel, he owned the drum, and I called him up and I was like, do you want to collaborate where we could do the baking, we could use your drum, and we'll just see if people will come on board. And yep, that's how it started in the spring of 2020.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit about the name Fawin Force?
We wanted something unique, something that was very catchy, and we just figure like in the Caribbean, especially in St. Lucia, we love bread, but so we in St. Lucia we love Creole. We Creole is part of our language, cultural language. So we decided to just go with flour in Creole, which is Fawin Force.
Nice. And what about UNIK for Education? How did you come up with that name?
UNIK for Education stem from UNI as in uniforms and K as in books, which is the stipend it's geared towards providing uniforms and books. Because we know for a struggling family, uniforms and books can be quite expensive.
Oh, yes. My mom had a lot of us, so I know firsthand. Mm-hmm.
And that's the same for my family. We struggled with uniforms and books especially. And so this came from the need where I wanted to pay forward, because I had a teacher of mine, stage 1 teacher, who throughout my school years, she provided my uniforms and books. And when she passed away, I was like, I wanted to pay forward what I had gotten from her. And so this is how UNIK was created or born, basically.
Nice. Well, I'm sure the kids are very appreciative. Definitely know firsthand the impact that, when somebody gives like that, it really goes a long way in making sure you're at school and you're able to focus on what you should be focusing on at school, and not like, how do I get books to go to school?
Absolutely. I think it takes away the some level of stress for the family, that they are able to use their monies in a different avenue, whereas because they know they have this amount coming in towards uniforms and books, so they can allocate the whatever they have to something else and not have to worry about choosing between maybe accommodation or books, or accommodation and uniforms, or food or books, that kind of thing.
Right. Yes. Well, thanks so much for that. And what's one of the best moments or the highest highs you've had in business so far?
Great, great moments. Since I have like a dual, I would say in Fawin Funds is just watching Fawin Funds grow over the years. I didn't expect it to grow like this. And so for us, I love seeing us being able to satisfy our customers with the nostalgic feeling that they're searching for. With UNIK, it's same thing, growth in seeing that we've, I would say at least 5 to 6 students. We have assist in their journey towards their educational career. So for us, I think this is the most satisfying success that we could have.
Okay. And on the other side of that, what's probably one of the lowest lows that you've had?
The lowest lows for UNIK especially is funding. It's the struggle of finding funding. I mean, thank God we've had some very loyal donors throughout the year. So, but we would love to be able to increase our funding, to also increase the amount of scholarships that we give on a yearly basis, because we know there's a need. And also, if we could maybe, there comes a time where we could probably continue along the 5 years with the students. For now, that's our challenge on UNIK side. On Fawin, it's do we even have lows? I don't know if we should say lows. Okay, I would just say we wish we could do Fawin year round. Unfortunately, because of the weather, we have to close shop and we're going to reopen in spring. So I would say that's the lows for us.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it also gives me a break where when I'm not busy with Fawin, then I dive right into UNIK, because UNIK has the women's event coming up. And so that gives me time in March of 2025. So that gives me time to now focus solely on UNIK.
Nice, nice. Well, thanks for that. And we will be talking some more about the events coming up in March, the women's event. Okay. So we're going to move on to the begin segment. Do you remember if there's a time where you thought, okay, I'm going to become an entrepreneur? Like, has that always been something that you've aspired towards?
No, never. I never like sales. I always say I cannot sell anything. So anything that had to do with sales, I shy away from. However, I grew up in a family where sales was what my mom did to supplement her income. And baking, that's where it came from. My mom was a baker. She supplemented her income to take care of us through baking. I remember that the mornings I cried, like I had to wake up early in the mornings to go sell the bread. But it's been like the eldest in the household. I had my sister after me do it. But yes, sales was my challenge.
Okay. But you learned to bake from your mom because she did that as well.
Absolutely. My mom was a baker. We had one of these outside big concrete ovens, and we would wake up in the morning and she would bake the bread and we would have to go sell them.
Oh, wow. Okay. And is there anything else from your childhood that you could think of that brings you to where you are today?
I'm just, growing up, we were taught our work ethics. We were taught hard work and perseverance, determination is what took you to the road of success. Education also. And that's why for us, education is big on UNIK side, because we feel like education is a vehicle that's going to take you out of poverty, and it will break the cycle. And so that's why in my education, my mom, she made sure that, God bless her heart. Sometimes you don't understand what's happening when you're growing up, but then in the long run, you get to understand what she was trying to do. She wouldn't accept anything but the best from us. Excellent. And I have also implemented the same with my son. So education for us is big. My family, my siblings, we're big on education.
Okay. And what steps did you take to start each of the businesses? It will be interesting to see the contrast, to start Farming Force and then to start the nonprofit.
Okay. UNIK, I came up with the idea, spoke to my sister. My sister's a lawyer. She's an estate planning lawyer, and she jumped on board, and we started off before being registered. So when I started off, the first set of finances came from my tax returns because I wanted to just jump on it whilst the idea was, still very fresh. So that, and then my sister was like, okay, we got to make it a nonprofit. So she does the legal side of things. She got the forms, filled out the forms, paid the funds, and we became a registered nonprofit. You have to have a board in order to do this. So our board fortunately consists of the siblings. And we have added to, I would say, liaisons, if that's the right word. We have a ground representative in St. Lucia, and we also have another member who lives out in Germany.
Oh, okay. And when it came to Fawin Fwans, what steps did you take for that business?
Fawin Force actually is not even registered as yet. Maybe we should be working on this because, like I said, it took off without us even. We didn't expect that kind of response. However, it was just a matter of calling my partner up and be like, "Hey, let's do this." And I always say, he's the kind of person that he's a cheerleader. He goes like, "Yeah, we could do this. Let's do this." And in as much as I called him up, I wasn't ready, but he was ready, and he was like, "We're doing this." And I like the fact that he was able to motivate me to get on board. And social media has been great to us because that's where we do most of our advertising. So yeah, it's different. It's a different thing where we can do the bread, where we just come together and be like, "Hey, let's do this." Unlike UNIK, on the other hand, because you have to be accountable for every, because it's a non-profit, there's a lot of the bylaws you have to follow, the missions you have to follow. Let's just say there's a lot of more legal aspects to it than Fawin Force right now.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, that really shows us the different structures. And yeah, for Fawin Fwans, I guess it's you basically the business. The two of you, it's all in one.
It's all in one. We do everything.
Yeah, so it's really good to be able to see the contrast there because with Fawin Fwans, it's like the typical business where, you're the business is you, and you operate that way, and that's fine until you decide to become a more formal structure.
Right.
And then there is the non-profit, which, as you said, is definitely required. There are bylaws, and there are certain things you have to follow. So you have to do that in a different way. So you actually getting to experience both of that, which is pretty cool.
Both ways.
Yes, yes. So we're going to move on to the build segment. And I would like to find out how you went about or how you go about choosing persons to benefit from the education program that you have. And for Fawin Fwans, what it was like having that very first customer. Maybe you can just touch on both of these for us.
UNIK. So when we started off UNIK, I had to solely rely on the principal and the teachers of the Tiroshimikut Combined School to pick the student. And we did that up till like last year, where they would just source out the student and refer them to us. This year we had a application process. It hasn't gone great. I think there's still challenges because we had to like really be on top of the process, unlike but I mean, every new, sometimes you try to change things up a little, and there's challenges that you need to smooth over and iron over the wrinkles. So that we're working on this aspect right now because we have like now an online applying process. Where we have a full application where they're supposed to go fill it out, and we, as the board, would decide. And for Fawin Force, like I said, we put it out there that we were going to be making bread on Saturday. And we said, "Can you pre-order?" And the pre-orders came in, and then people showed up. And so it felt great that there was a need and we were feeling that need. And I must say, to this day, we still have that first customer is still with us.
Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you. Whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation. I guess right now we can talk a little bit about networking, because that word actually popped in my mind when you said you put out the call for Fawin for us and people answered, which means it sounds like you have quite a broad network and you were able to tap into that. So maybe you can just tell us what networking looks like for you and the importance of that.
So, you know how they tell us that you're as valuable as your network? I don't know if I have a great network. However, I'm going to say Jacob has a huge network. And combined with mine and my friends and my family. So what we do is I would shoot it to him and he will shoot it out to whoever he knows, any and everybody. Also, I'll do the same on my end, our contacts, our social media contacts, our friends and family. And friends and family has been, like they said, word of mouth is the best advertisement you can get. And so I really truly believe in this. And that is why I work very hard to maintain the integrity of and the quality of our product. Because again, like I said, word of mouth can make you or it can break you. So this is how we've relied for Fawin for us in our network. And the power of social media. If you know how to use social media, I think it works for you very well. I must say I'm more like a Facebook, but now I've tried to turn to Instagram as we're growing. I'm turning to Instagram now, and I'm still debating on a TikTok for Fawin for us. But I'm like, again, we're evolving. You have to adapt to change. You have to be able to adapt to change in order to meet the needs of your customers. And I think that's what we're working on. And hopefully, where the sustainability and the longevity for Fawin Force will be there.
Okay, great. And Jacob is the partner that you work with, right? On
Jacob Emmanuel and Claudian, his wife, yes.
Okay. Yes, I believe I met them when I came to the Creole Day celebrations. I had to make sure that I passed by to get my bread.
Yes.
So we definitely enjoyed that.
Thank you so much. And thank you for stopping by and thank you for the great review.
So tell us, we know that starting any business is a bold move. But I just wonder, aside from that, what would you say are the bold moves that you've made since being in business?
I mean, it takes courage. It takes courage because, you're not always going to hear yes. There's going to be no's. There's going to be complaints. There's going to be criticism. There's going to be feedback. And you have to be able to not personalize it, basically, and just take it in and understand how it's going to help the growth of your business. And so you have to be open-minded in receiving feedback, criticism. It's not always going to be great. And sometimes I love the negative feedback because that's how you're going to grow, so yes.
Okay. And what does team look like for you? So I know Jacob and his wife on the Fawin Force side, and on the nonprofit, you have a board. Do you have committees? If you can just tell us a little bit about your team on both sides.
Fawin Force is quite easy. On Fawin Force, it's just me and Jacob and his wife most times. If we feel like we're going to do an event where we need extra help, I'll bring in my second half, or I'll ask a friend of mine to come on in. It does take a team, though. It does take a team to do Fawin Force. It will not be able to be successful by just one person. And like I said, we definitely work as a team because everybody have their strengths and their weaknesses, and we lean on that. Jacob is a bricklayer by profession. So when we have to bake like 100 pounds of flour or more, I am glad for him to be doing the baking. When he's not there, then I will pitch in. But when we started off, I was doing the baking, then he took over. But now he does most of the baking and I do the sandwiches or I do the cashing. Otherwise, it's flipped between Claudian and myself. who does the sandwiches, who does it. And I always say, Claudian, I do the organizing, the setup. Claudian is the breakdown person and the cleanup person. So we each have our roles and everybody stick to their roles and it makes the business go smoothly. On the UNIK side of things, we have the board. My board is, we're not in one place. So sometimes when we have to have an event, it solely leans on mostly me. However, I have a couple people that will, if I need assistance, I can call on. I don't know if you could call it a committee, but a couple of people that I can call on and ask for their assistance in organizing and doing the logistics if I'm having an event.
Okay. So when it comes to handling finances, maybe you can touch a little bit on that.
Fwans finance is easy. It's like we don't really have a system per se. Cash come in, between us, we work it out. Supplies, we take care of each other. That's it. On the other hand, UNIK, as I said, UNIK is a registered nonprofit, so we have to do the legal everything. So we have a treasurer who handles all of UNIK's finances. Receipts have to go in. He tracks everything that comes out, the bank accounts. He is, and I must say, he's very on top of it. I couldn't ask for a better treasurer. He knows the balances at all times and what needs to be paid. He does the paying out of whatever needs to be paid as long as we provide the receipts. And at the end of the year, he's in charge of making sure that everything is in order so we could file our taxes, which my sister, who does the legal side of things, handles that part of things. So we do have to file our taxes annually in as much as we're a nonprofit.
All right. So we just talked a lot about building, and I know during the conversation there were struggles that popped up, like things that you struggle with as a business person. Is there any one thing you'd like to expound on in terms of struggles as you grow?
For UNIK, like I said, for UNIK, the challenge for us is being able to corporate sponsors. We would love to get some corporate sponsors where we don't have to struggle to find finances to be able to continue the stipend. We would love to see UNIK not struggle and being able to provide more. And we're trying to figure out how to mitigate this, how to work it out. For now, we rely a lot on just like, again, social media, word of mouth, reaching out. Sometimes I write letters to corporate sponsors. I'll ask somebody and they'll say yes, and I'll write them a letter requesting funds and they would come through. So yeah, it would be if we could find the resources where we can have a steady stream of income for UNIK where we don't have to worry about not being able to provide the stipend for the students. Fawin Fwans, on the other hand, we just need more people to eat the bread. and we'll get more. I mean, we've been getting more traction. We've been invited to outside events, as we've been invited to Canada. So we travel sometimes for Fawin Fwans. And it's just like I said, now that we're in our down season, seeing what worked, what didn't work, and how we can improve our services come next open season, spring.
Nice. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. And in terms of the women's event, you mentioned that earlier. Now is a good time to tell us a little bit more about that.
So the women's event was born in 2020, actually. March of 2020, it came about where it was impressed on my heart that I should create a space for women where we can come together and discuss issues that are considered taboo in our community that we would not be open about. Just have this non-judgmental space where women can come and feel comfortable to share and to create awareness and also to support and encourage each other in our community. I started off with, I'd say 20 friends. And then it has blossomed from there. Last year we were into our 5th year, and I must say it was probably our most successful year. We're growing and bursting at the seam. Hopefully this year we continue to grow. However, our challenge is finding a suitable space that's inexpensive. Again, because we're a non-profit and we don't have much funds, getting a suitable space at an inexpensive cost is kind of difficult. So that is the challenge that I'm facing right now in finding a suitable space. Do we stay with the space that we had last year? Do we go to the next space? So as I said, it's an annual event. It happens on the first Sunday of March, which coincides with International Women's Month. And we would love to see this continue to grow. However, finance is our challenge for this as a nonprofit. I would love to. We started off, we were not charging a fee per se. I wouldn't even say we've charged a fee. Last year was the first year we added a registration fee to the event. However, with inflation and everything becoming quite expensive, we're working on seeing how we could keep the cost low, but also we need to, and I must say that whatever funds that comes in from this event goes to UNIK, and it also goes to the stipend for the students. So whatever funds that are derived from this women's event or raised from this women's event goes to UNIK.
This coming March, the event will be held that very first Sunday of March.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so people can look out for more information from you.
Definitely, there will be a save the date coming soon, and then we will release the details as time go by. Hopefully, I'm working on trying to do it as soon as possible because, like I said, our challenge is finding a space that we can afford. Well, an affordable space, or maybe finding a sponsor. Hopefully, we can find a sponsor and not have to worry about this. Yeah, once we get a location, I think the details will come very quickly.
Okay. And for people to learn more about it, it would mostly be through social media?
Social media. So UNIK has a page. It's called UNIK, UNIK. Also, my personal page on social media. Oh, UNIK has an email address, unikforeducation@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. So we now move on to the Blossom segment. And we would like to find out from you, what does success mean to you?
Success. I feel like since I have a dual interest, I will say, for me, success on Fawin Fwans is being able to satisfy the needs of our customers. For UNIK, on the other hand, is being able to provide the stipend, the scholarship, and being able to do that for a very long time.
Great, great. Thank you. So we're now moving on to the closeout segment. And part of what we do with the podcast is to create community. And it's from getting to know you. You're all about community. So I think that's something we share. So we try to encourage listeners and guests, to get in touch and to help each other out and network. So is that something that you'd be open to someone reaching out to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you have already mentioned, I love community work. It's a passion for me. I give as much as I can. And because I do know that we pay forward, we didn't come up on we came up on others' shoulders. And so for me, paying forward is huge. And whichever way I can give back, I give back. And that's one of the reasons why I have the retreats, the bus rides. We don't really make much on either of these events, but we know that it's a need in our community and creating community also. I'm pretty sure if you attending the event, you met everybody and you saw how it was a wonderful event where everybody was so tight knit and we walked away with new friendships, new relationships. And so for me, I want to be able to continue to provide the services for others. So yes, I am willing to share what I have learned, my challenges, the strong points, the strengths, and be able to even mentor somebody along that line.
Great. Thank you for that. And what are 3 practical tips you would share with someone looking to start a business or who is currently in business, just to kind of encourage them to keep going?
One, I would say don't give up. Don't give up. You're going to have many no's before you probably get a yes. However, continue to persevere, continue to believe in your mission, your goal, whatever it is, your dream, and continue working towards it. 2, you need support. You need a network. You need support to be able to bring forth that or manifest your goal. So surround yourself with the right support, and your engine will will go. 3, again, it's along the lines like believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, believe in what you do. Because what I've realized that if you don't believe in yourself, then it's a challenge. So definitely believe in yourself, fight for what you believe in, and you will definitely be able to see the materialization of your dreams or your goals.
Great. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. And what are the ways we can reach you?
My email, usehome@gmail.com. Like I said, UNIK for education @gmail.com. For Fawin First, of course, it's me directly or Jacob directly. My telephone number, 347-792-6027, or our social media page, Fawin Fwans at Instagram or Fawin Fwans on Facebook.
Okay. And I will be sure to include those in the show notes. So anybody who wants to reach you will have no problems doing so.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and we look forward to speaking with you again. And we have something we call Spotlight, where we talk to guests when they're doing things in the moment. So I'm hoping to have you on there as you get ready for the women's event in March.
Thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate you taking the time to speak with me and, just dive in more into what we do. I'll say we because I have a team. What we do, I'm happy to be the face of the team. I hope I have represented them well.
You did.
And so I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me and, just learning a little bit more about what we do. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Begin, Build, Blossom, Your Business Journey, a CME Accounting LLC podcast. Please subscribe and be on the lookout for our next episode. If you'd like to share any feedback with us, please email us at podcast@cmeaccountingllc.com.